Nick has pretty good rotation, and you'll see that he shifts it side to side. Now this is rotating more than he'll actually rotate in his race, but this is just to emphasize the connectivity of the whole stroke. We initiate the power phase of the stroke with the hip transition back across the body. So now we're going to work on the cross section of his stroke. So he's going to switch, try to have the hip lead the switch. There we go. Now we're dancing a little bit more side to side. The hip goes first, and that helps to pull the hand as the body travels past the catch in the stroke. Single arm backstroke, just like all strokes. I like single arm drills. They're just a good way to isolate one part of the body. Key, just like it was in freestyle with backstroke, is that you connect your body to single arm backstroke. Okay, the hips actually move right in tandem with the arms in the stroke. So shoulder and hip come all the way through, then the opposite shoulder and hip come up. You have to take time to rotate both ways fully. We talked about the top of the pool and the bottom of the pool. The whole pool looks like something like this. After you make the high set catch, okay, when you get that good established catch, you start rotating the hip the opposite way. The speed of the hand is going to increase as it moves through the power phase of backstroke. Used to be we do a deep catch, skull up, we'd skull down, then we lift up. That's not the new backstroke. The new backstroke is a strong, hard catch. And pretty much you're holding that water and really throwing it with your body, much like a baseball pitcher would do. A baseball pitcher leads with the hip and throws that fastball. Same thing here. Grab that water and throw with the hip as you come across with that powerful backstroke in the mid part of the stroke. And then finish, as we discussed, by a little bit of help with the rotation, lift the thumb up clean. Single arm backstroke, full body rotation. Other hand stays right by your side. Nice flowing kick. Excellent. Going back, we'll see the left arm. Nice and relaxed way, but swing very efficiently. I like for swimmers to feel that resistance, and in backstroke, when you feel resistance, you tend to make a better catch and a quicker catch and a higher catch. And for the new backstroke, that's what's needed. So this drill here, Larry Lee's going to hold on to Nick's feet, and he's going to give him resistance with his body weight, and then about halfway through, he's going to take his legs, pull it back, and shove them forward, so he's going to get the resistance and assistance all in 125. All right, for right now, Larry is dead weight, hanging onto his feet. Nick's making a high, hard catch. About halfway through, he shoves them into a stroke. And then Nick takes off with world-class speed. For backstroke, one of the differences with the other strokes is that it's a placing stroke, not a reaching stroke. What I mean by that is that as the hand comes around, you're not really trying to reach above like you perhaps are in freestyle and setting a real high catch with a raised scapula. You may raise the scapula a little bit, but more or less you're dropping the hand in with the ribs connected in the top of the catch. Okay? As you establish the catch, it has to be outside the shoulder. Can't waste any time by overreaching. You need to drop the hand in outside the shoulder, immediately get the high set catch. Okay? The difference between world-class backstrokers and not so much is that they set the catch really high, and they're able to connect the hip to shift and create power to move that hand. Okay, so the catch is extremely important. You want about 6 to 8 inches. You can be a little bit deeper than that. Make the set catch, and then power through with the hip, leading the way. The drill we're going to do now emphasizes the high catch. We call it double scoop, the old Raisin Bran drill, for those of you that remember Raisin Bran commercials. Anyway, when you put the hand in, you take 2 scoops. So right away, 1 scoop, high, 2 scoop, and then switch. So 1 scoop, 2 scoop, and then switch. We're just going to emphasize that high portion of the catch. Try to scoop as high as you can. Double scoop drill on each side. Scooping really high. As soon as the hand goes in, you want to grab that water nice and high to set the scoop. Double scoop drill, be nice and high to set the high scoop. Nick's got it just right. 1, 2, 1, 2. Younger swimmers may want to use fins on this drill to help set up their stroke so they can really concentrate on the scoop drill. Larry's taking the double scoop drill, keeping the goggles solid. You see he's stopping his legs a little bit, so that's something he'll want to work on. Nick on both sides, a double scoop way up high. So he's gripping that water right away. This is just a drill to help emphasize putting pressure on those fingertips right away. You could do this with paddles as well. That would help you to feel that a little bit more. Now let's go to the bottom of the stroke, and in the bottom of the stroke we want to make sure the hips are connected. So a fun little drill you can do is a mini-me drill, where you keep the arms real kind of short, so like little alligator arms, connected to your body, drop the hand out, rotate in, grab water, and with your hip connected here, you move your hand this way. Okay, move your hand connected to your hip as you go through, keep the elbows in here. You're gonna have little stumpy arms as you do this, and try to get as much out of that little arm as you can. Okay, using the little arms here, rotate in and rotate the hand past. The hip leads that hand, so rotating the hip before you actually move the hand is a good thing. All right. Hip first, hand in and hip first. I think this is Nick's first time doing this drill. Okay. And the finish of the backstroke, I want to emphasize a couple things. One is that as you're coming through in the finish of the backstroke, and you're about to extend all the way, you don't really want to lock out the arm before you begin to think in terms of finishing the stroke. So actually, as you're pushing through with the tricep, finishing the stroke, you're actually gonna shape the hand to lift right away. So really, this whole motion is about getting the hand up and out of the water. There isn't a lot of power left when you get down to here, so you don't need to extend and push through with the fingertips. The reason you're doing this is to help you sort of shift that hip over. So from right here, you're pushing water back. As you finish, you can help your hip shift over by pushing that hand down and across. Real important also, as you do finish right here, we want to do a thumb lift to come out. We slice the water better with a thumb lift. You can imagine if you're pulling out like this, it's going to get a lot more resistance in the water. So turn the hand sideways and do a thumb lift. Rotate in and throw. The hip throw it. Let the hip throw it. That's good. He's snapping that hip. I kind of like that. I like that hip snap. And he's smiling. And now he's going to add some speed for his hand speed and backstroke. He's going to slap, slap, slap real fast to increase the hand speed, more like what he'll do when he races backstroke. Going to add a little intensity to this drill by taking 3 slaps and then relax. 2, 3. He's working on driving that hand back in backstroke. We got to, when we start sprinting, you got to drive the hand back. It doesn't just float back. Very good. Okay, well, again with backstrokers, I like to see resistant swimming. I think resistant swimming helps set that catch a little higher, a little stronger, and then power through the stroke. So one of the things we'll do is you can just get a rope and a strap. This actually is the starting mechanism that we used in the start video, but it'll hold him in place. I'll let him swim in place, and as he is, I can make adjustments while he's right here in front of me. A big advantage versus swimming up and down the pool is that I can tell him to put his hand out a little wider, to increase the hand speed of his hand while he's swimming backstroke right here in front of me. So let me let him swim a little backstroke right out here. Okay. And just like at the Olympics, he almost pulled me in. All right, good. And I'm gonna let him go now. This time he's going to go a little lighter. I'm going to make a correction to one of the things I'm seeing in his stroke that I want him to fix before I release him. Okay, good. Nice, I'm a little lighter here, and I want him to look back, and I want to see a little bit wider with that hand. Yep. Yeah, the right hand was a little bit narrow. And now I'm going to let him swim with that as I let him go. Excellent. Great drill for really emphasizing tempo and training the nervous system, really overstimulating the nervous system on backstroke, a spin drill. It's a great warm-up drill for all strokes, but in the case of backstroke, what we use it for is just to kind of rev up a little bit. And to do that, what we do with spin drill is we sit down in the water like we're in a chair. So you're literally in the water like this, in a chair, kicking out here. You're sitting up tall like this, and you're basically moving your arms as fast as you can. You don't worry about how you feel. In some cases, you might even want to close your fists so you're not tempted to concern yourself feel. You just slap those hands back as fast as you can. That's good spin drill. By the way, a proper spin drill, you're not going to do the whole lap. If you're doing it well, you can only make it a half lap. So when you sit up and spin, you do it for a half lap fully and intensely, and then swim the rest of the way easy. Sitting up, spin, spin, spin. Nice tempo. Shift, shift, shift. Excellent. That's a lot faster tempo than Nick would ever swim in a race, but it over revs him. It gets his body ready to go, and now when he settles back into his racing tempo, it's going to feel fantastic. A drill I've loved for the backstrokers, a variation off of spin drill, has been 1/8 spin drill. So right now what Nick's going to do is going to be, instead of in full sit up and spin position, he's going to be in natural, but bring it up about 1/8, but then turn his arms over as if he's doing spin drill. I found several swimmers really get it when they do this drill, and they look fantastic. So give it a try with some of your swimmers, especially those that have slow turnover and those that tend to overreach. This tends to work very well. Sitting up, and one hand after the other. That's pretty darn good. For most people, that would be a very nice backstroke. Excellent.
So those are some of the stroke drills I like to do, and one of the underwater drills I like to do is called fish kick. It's all you do is you get into a really good streamline and you over-exaggerate everything. So you're going to start your kick way up here in your arms, you're just going to make it bigger and bigger as you get down farther and farther, and you're going to make it as big a kick as you can. Now, during this kicking drill, you can get a little disoriented because you're actually moving your head and your body a lot more than usual. However, it's really, really good to do because we're going to try and overemphasize a big front and back kick. Now, a lot of people just kick one way. This drill really teaches you how to kick both forward and backwards in your kick, so you get double the power out of just one stroke.
You can use the bottom of the pool quite a bit too. So take swimmers again and have them jump off the bottom, do their body dolphin kick as high as they can. One of the challenges is to kick out and maintain that position as you get out of the water. Really hard to do, but don't give up as soon as you reach the surface. Keep kicking through the surface. Let's watch Nick. As Nick does this, he's actually going to try to reach the backstroke flags to get as close as he can to these kickouts. Fire out, and he's really close. All right, off the bottom, and power kick to the top. Here he goes, boom. Really close. On this push off the bottom, he's going to transition in through a breakout, called a snoogan, as Kim Bracken called it back in our Auburn days. Working on transitioning quickly from that dolphin kick into the flutter kick. There we go. Excellent, excellent. Okay, the kick outs is actually a faster way to move through the water than the swim. So real important that your athletes, even if you're not good at it right away, that you keep working on your body dolphin kick outs. I would suggest a nose clip because you're more comfortable in the water that way. But when you do your body dolphin kick outs, you want to first leave the wall in a really good line. Practice pushing off for distance. How far can you push off and glide? Then you work on pushing off, gliding, bringing in your body dolphin kicks, and finally all the way through your breakouts. Let's watch Nick do all of this in one good push off and breakout. As you'll see him push off, he releases and glides, brings in the body dolphin kicks. And as he gets near 15 meters, he transitions up into his backstroke with the flutter kick. Really good. Good thing to play with at competitive pools or summer league pools is to practice pushing off and gliding as far as you can. It's really a skill, and it's not often how hard you push off the wall, it's how your alignment is once you leave the wall. You need to have good body tension, and then when you glide as far as you can, you should be able to make it at least halfway, maybe even 2/3 across the pool eventually as you get bigger and stronger, and most important, use better technique. Pushes off just gliding. There's no assistance here. He's not going to kick. He's well past halfway now and floating to 15 meters. "20 yards now. Excellent. So when you're working on gliding, think about your personal best. Don't worry about other people, but if you can only make it, 8 feet, then your job is to work on making it to 9 feet. Let's watch Nick do a turn now. When he does this, you'll notice he uses 2 arm pulls going in, lines up well, and releases off the wall into that glide and then into the breakout. Comes over, 2 hands, submerge, release, glide, underwater body dolphin kick, and 2-handed breakout with a flutter kick. Just right. Comes over, 2 hands, submerge, release, glide, underwater body dolphin kick, and 2-handed breakout with a flutter kick. One of the new parts of backstroke is about the finish. Used to be we'd finish straight over the top, big arch in the back. What we've really found and what we changed on Nick was his finish. As he comes in, he's touching the wall and then rotating to the side to carry the speed all the way in. That way, if he's a little bit long, he holds the speed all the way into the touch. And when it comes to hundredths of a second, like it made a difference between Nick winning that medal and not winning a medal, great finish does make a difference. He's building in through the finish, and then he's going to throw all the way in to the finish to the side. That's a gold medal finish right there. As Nick swims backstroke, I just want you to watch the details that he swims with. His body line, his positioning, his rotation, his high catch, his flowing kick. Let's watch him do 100, and you can kind of use this as a model for your stroke. As he goes off here, see it glides into his body dolphin kicks. 2-handed breakout, his head still. Rotates over. Good plant, glide, underwater kick. Watch the high catch on this. So he's not waiting very long to get into catch. Right there, those big hands of his, he's grabbing the water quickly and way up high, which is what we want to see in the new backstroke. Also want you to note that he's not catching real deep in the water. He's catching pretty shallow along the surface and throwing the water off his fingertips. Again, the head is nice and steady. This last lap, let's watch his shoulder rotation as he breaks out. His shoulder comes out, you can see his entire shoulder come over the water. That's what we want to see in backstroke, each shoulder lifting up over the water. That's a very good backstroke. It's the backstroke to me that you can model after. And now I'm going to have Nick go faster, 50 of backstroke. And what you're going to notice is he goes from more of a steady, nice, flowing stroke into really more of an aggressive dance. His hips will lock down a little bit more. He'll have substantial rotation, but with the tempo picking up, we'll have to dance from one side to the other. Everything picks up here. You notice he's throwing the water off his toes quick, gripping the water high. And as he breaks through the double arm pull, he catches right away. There's no pause on the breakout. And he maintains that dance. Excellent. I'd like to thank you for letting me share this information with you. As you take this information from the videos and use it in your own personal swimming, I hope that it makes a difference in many positive ways. Ultimately, what I hope for you is that you're able to be the best swimmer that you can be.
Hello, my name is Jeff Dugdale. I'm the Director of High Performance. We invite you today to join us at David Marsh Performance in SwimMac, Carolina. Our camps and clinics are designed to identify, create, and implement highly intentional pathways to excellence. If you are a motivated athlete or coach, we invite you to join us as we have lots of ideas and solutions. Contact us today.